Welcome back everyone, it's Kevin with Muddy River Tactical. Thank you for joining me today. Today I have the brand new Shadow Systems CR920. This pistol claims to be the perfect combination of concealability as well as shootability. So today we're going to take this thing to the range, put it through the paces, and tell you what we really think about this new pistol. Alright guys, if you're anything like me, you are always looking for that perfect balance of concealability and shootability in a concealed carry pistol. I'm a fan of big pistols for shooting. I'm not a super big fan of carrying a full-size 5-inch gun for concealed carry though. It just makes it super hard to conceal in all situations, just has added weight. And in today's market with all these viable options, I just don't think it's fully needed. So I personally have been carrying a SIG 365 for a few years now, and it's a great gun. I thoroughly enjoy it and really like it. However, it does have some shortcomings in my opinion. So I toggle between that and a 43X MOS currently. However, the 43 MOS is a little bit heavier at about 23 ounces compared to the SIG is about 18 ounces empty. So that added weight is just kind of hard to justify as well. So if Shadow Systems' claim of being the perfect compromise of shootability and concealability is accurate, this pistol is definitely going to be high on my priority list and is going to get shot quite a bit and possibly make it into my concealed carry rotation. So let's start with the specs on this gun and then we'll compare it to some of them. So it comes with a 10-round flush magazine and then a 13+1 extended magazine. So if you put the extended magazine in this gun, it ends up being just a little bit smaller than a 43 MOS. And with a flush mag in it, it's almost the same size as a SIG 365. It's almost identical. I can hold my two guns together and literally they're almost the same size. The big thing about the Shadow Systems though, so Shadow System is more or less a Gucci'd out Glock, for better terms there. But they have done a lot of things right on this pistol that have made it, I hope it shoots as good as it feels because it's just feels really good in my hand. It's got a great undercut there. And this is the first pistol I've had a hold of in a long time that in my opinion has the texturing 100% right. This gun just feels super good. Even though it's small, it has enough texturing to just feel super secure in your hand. So back to the weight on this gun. This is more or less a 43 MOS clone. However, it's got way better texturing, different slide, and some upgraded parts in it to just make it an upgraded Glock more or less. However, it only weighs 18 ounces. So it's the same weight as a SIG 365. And in my opinion, it has way better ergonomics and feel to it with the extra texturing. So it does make this gun way more shootable. As these guns came out, just like the first rounds of anything, you know, the SIG 365 when it first came out had a few issues. When this first came out, you're seeing some reviews and guys talking about having issues with them, and I'm sure they were legit. However, Shadow Systems, from everything I've read and heard, has been super responsive and no questions asked, fixed everything. I believe this pistol I have here is on the second run per se where they fixed all those issues. Because up to this point, I have about 400 rounds through this gun, and I have not had a hiccup in the world with it at all. So reliability up to this point has been great. With that said, because of some of the bad reviews and some of the issues they've had, before I would consider putting this in my carry rotation, I'm probably going to put another 1,000 or 1,500 rounds through it just because I want to be extra sure. If you're carrying something on you to protect you and your family, you know, I have my kids and family with me all the time. I want something that without a doubt is going to fire and work all the time. And in 400 rounds, you can generally find that out, but I'm going to be a little extra paranoid and put probably 1,500 rounds through it before I'd really vet this gun. Because in all reality, the SIG 365 and 43 MOS, I have well over 2,000 rounds through both of those and never an issue in the world. So while this pistol may have some better features and feel better to me currently. I really want to carry this gun right now just by the feel and how it shoots, but I just won't do it until I know that reliability is on point, because at the end of the day, without reliability, you do not have anything. But like I said, up until this point, it has not been a problem, and I don't expect it to. So some of the features on it, it's really like a Glock. However, in my opinion, it's got way better texturing. The trigger feels better. I think the flat trigger just feels better on your finger. However, to me, it's not that upgraded compared to a Glock. It does feel a little better than a Glock trigger, but it's not overly better. So the SIG 365 trigger still feels better in my opinion. However, the texturing and just feel and shootability of this gun feels better to me than the SIG. So it's kind of a back and forth toss up there. So this is actually the combat version. They have the elite version as well, which the elite version, the main differences are, I think it's got a different color barrel and a little slide cut in there to reduce weight supposedly. And then it's got slide serrations on the top. I went with this model because I'm not a fan of the slide cuts for a concealed carry weapon. I don't want dust, dirt, lint, debris, whatever getting stuck in there. I'm just kind of finicky about my guns being clean, going back to the reliability part of it. So I chose this model and it's been awesome. The factory sights on it are a blacked out serrated rear and a green tritium front sight, which are awesome. And the other thing about this gun, it comes optic ready. But the cool thing is on my 43 MOS, I had to put a plate on to put my Holosun on there. With this one, it mounts directly to the slide. So the biggest thing for me on that is with the Holosun 507 or 407, it mounts direct so you can co-witness your sights without changing the stock sights. So for me, that's super, almost necessary nowadays. Optics have came a long way and I've really had no issues with any of my Holosuns. That's why I run them on pretty much all of my guns. However, in the oddball thing, if something were to happen to that optic, having stock sights that you can co-witness are a huge plus. That way you're never without sights. I mean, if you ever had to use this, you don't want to be kind of winging it per se. So that's a super great feature. The texturing on this gun, as far as the slide and slide serrations, blow Glocks away by a long shot. The slide serrations just feel really good and work very well. So it's just a way better setup in my opinion. It takes down just like a Glock, has a front rail just like the 43 MOS. When you put that extended mag in it, you can get a full purchase on the gun, which is great. And this trigger undercut here feels really good, and it's, to me, really one of the biggest upgrades along with the texturing. It just makes this super small gun feel like a bigger gun in your hand. So when I went to go shoot this, I was kind of surprised. You know, just like anything, you're used to one gun, something will feel a little different for a minute. So I'm used to shooting my SIG more than anything because that's the gun I concealed carry. So we went to the range and started shooting this, and at first it felt a little bit awkward. You know, it took me 50 or 100 rounds to kind of not change my grip, but just get my target acquisition down. Just because with any Glocks or anything, this is angled different. So it's just different target acquisition and getting used to it. However, once I got used to it, this thing outshot my SIG 365 by a long shot. The 43 MOS, this shoots better than that as well. So as far as what they're claiming, up till now, I can say they're 100% spot on. Of course, with that, you're going to spend a little more money on this gun. You know, instead of $550 or so on a Glock, depending on your area, you're going to spend another $150 or so to go up to this. But in my opinion, the texturing alone is worth that. Because a lot of the people get these Glocks and then send them off to get stippled and do all this other stuff to them, and you end up with $1,000 in a Glock. Well, you can do that all from factory and have it ready to go from the get-go. I'm sure it does. I'm not 100% sure, but I would assume it would take any Glock drop-in triggers. I don't guarantee you that, but for me, I don't really see a need to change the trigger. While it's definitely not the best trigger on the market, it definitely works very well. And for concealed carry, I think it's a great setup. So I'll show you the trigger real quick. So it's got the trigger safety on it, and then goes right to the brake there. It doesn't really have a lot of take up. And then it's got a little, not long, but kind of a little longer pull than what the SIG would. However, once you get used to it, it's really not bad at all. So you can see there, and then the reset, I think, is better than the Glock's reset. It's pretty close to the reset of SIG 365, and then right to that wall. It has a very good wall, and you can shoot off the wall easy. So if you're a super trigger snob, that's definitely the one and only thing that I could see you'd ever want to change with this gun. Other than that, I think Shadow Systems has this gun set up from the get-go where you wouldn't have to do anything. So when you look at the price, definitely consider that for the guys that are getting Glocks and spending all the extra money on them. Yes, this gun will cost you a little more from the get-go, but it's also going to be ready, and you're not going to have to send it off and be without your gun. So we're going to keep this gun. Like I said, I'm going to do another 1,000 rounds for this, and then we'll do probably a 1,500 round or 2,000 round review on it. Because honestly, I can see this being my new concealed carry pistol. And actually, I'm getting my wife to shoot it too because it fits her hand really well. So if this gun truly does turn out to be as reliable as I'm hoping it will be, it's going to unfortunately put my SIG 365 and 43 MOS in the safe as far as it comes to concealed carry, because this thing just has a lot of good features that I think both of those guns are missing in different areas. So if you're in the market for a concealed carry gun but want something that still shoots well, I think this is a great option. You can put that flush mag in it, and I mean, it conceals super easy with that flush mag, and it's even very concealable with the extended mag in it. So you could go either way there. But if you're in the market for something like this, I would definitely check out the Shadow Systems. I've heard of them for a while, but I've kind of put them off reviewing them, and then finally I just couldn't take it anymore and had to get one and do this review on it, and I'm super glad I did. It's gone from being not really on my radar for a concealed carry gun to I'm really hoping this works out and it can be my everyday concealed carry. So if the reliability ends up being there, you'll see me carrying this all the time. So until next time, if you guys have any questions or anything, leave them in the comments below. Or if you have any other videos that you'd like to see on certain guns that maybe I'm missing, just like I kind of missed the Shadow Systems, definitely leave them in the comments below as well. So until next time, keep practicing and always be prepared.